Welcome to UK Learnings. After watch this video, please subscribe to our channel to give us your support. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get upcoming videos. Good luck for your exam.
What should a driving test candidate do if their inertia reel seat belt has temporarily locked and they cannot put it on at the start of their test? Carry on with the test without a seat belt. Ask the examiner to postpone the test and seek a further appointment. Put it on as soon as the belt has released. Ignore it and fit it sometime later. The correct answer is put it on as soon as the belt has released. Why are new vehicles fitted with catalytic converters? To control exhaust noise levels, to prolong the life of the exhaust system, to allow the exhaust system to be recycled, to reduce harmful exhaust emissions. The correct answer is to reduce harmful exhaust emissions. Engines burning fossil fuels produce harmful gases. We need to be concerned about the effect this has on our environment. A catalytic converter acts like a filter, removing most of the harmful compounds from the exhaust gas. What type of vehicle would have a green flashing beacon? A fire engine, a Coast Guard patrol car, an ambulance, a doctor's car. The correct answer is a doctor's car. If you see a vehicle with a flashing green beacon approaching, it means the driver or passenger is a doctor on an emergency call. Allow it to pass when you can do so safely. Someone's life could depend on the driver making good progress through the traffic. You're driving at night. What does it mean if you see a pedestrian wearing reflective clothing and carrying a red light? You're approaching roadworks. You're approaching an organized walk. You're approaching a slow-moving vehicle. You're approaching an incident black spot. The answer is you're approaching an organized walk. The people involved in an organized walk should be keeping to the left. The walker at the back of the group should be showing a red light, while the one at the front should show a white light. Pass slowly and safely, and be aware that the pedestrians have their backs to you and might not know that you're there. What should you do when you've driven through a flood? Stop and check the tires. Stop and dry the brakes. Check your exhaust. Test your brakes. The correct answer is test your brakes. After driving through flood water, it's important to make sure the brakes are working properly. Check for other traffic and, when it's safe, test your brakes. If necessary, dry them out by applying light pressure to the foot brake while driving along slowly. Which vehicle is least likely to be affected by side winds? Bicycle, motorcycle, high-sided vehicle, car. The correct answer is car. Although cars are the least likely to be affected, side winds can affect anyone, especially after overtaking a large vehicle, when passing gaps between hedges or buildings, on exposed sections of road. What's the nearest you may park to a junction? 10 meters, 32 feet, 12 meters, 39 feet, 15 meters, 49 feet, 20 meters, 66 feet. The correct answer is 10 meters. What should a deaf pupil be advised to do when they're ready to apply for their driving test? Inform the examiner that they're deaf on the day of their test. Declare their hearing impairment when applying for their driving test. Supply visual instructions for the examiner to use. Bring a signer with them on the day of their test. The correct answer is declare their hearing impairment when applying for their driving test. For the cockpit drill to be effective, some items should be checked before others. What's the correct sequence? Seat belt before parking brake, doors before parking brake, mirrors before seat position, fuel quantity before doors. The correct answer is doors before parking brake. The cockpit drill is a logical sequence of safety checks. New drivers should be trained to go through them methodically and in sequence every time they get into a vehicle. Briefly, these checks are: doors closed, parking brake set, driver's seat position, head restraint adjusted, mirrors adjusted, seat belts fastened, gear lever in neutral, check parking brake again, fuel. What's the most likely cause of a car pulling to the right when the foot brake is applied? The wheels need balancing. Excessive road camber. The road surface is uneven. The brakes on the left side are inefficient. The correct answer is the brakes on the left side are inefficient. If the vehicle pulls to one side when braking, this usually means there's a fault with the brakes on the opposing side. Check your brakes daily, and if you suspect any fault, have them checked as soon as possible. Don't drive with faulty brakes. You're waiting at a T-junction. What should you do if you see a vehicle coming from the right with its left indicator flashing? Move out and accelerate hard. Wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. Pull out before the vehicle reaches the junction. Move out slowly. The correct answer is wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. Take care if a vehicle is approaching from the right and giving a left signal. The driver may have forgotten to cancel the signal or may wish to stop just past the junction. Don't emerge until you're sure of their intentions. How often do you have to renew your photo on a photocard car driving license? Every 10 years, every 5 years, every 25 years, every 30 years. The correct answer is every 10 years. Photocard licenses are valid for a maximum of 10 years. This is to allow the photographic likeness to be updated when the license is renewed. However, the license entitlement usually lasts until age 70. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear a seat belt? An adult passenger. The children. You. Your friend. The correct answer is you. Child passengers should be encouraged to fasten their seat belts themselves from an early age, so that it becomes a matter of routine. It's the driver's responsibility to check that the seat belts of any passengers under 14 years old are fastened securely. Your car's front wheels are out of balance. How will this affect your car? They'll cause the steering to pull to one side. They'll cause the brakes to fail. They'll cause the tires to deflate. They'll cause the steering to vibrate. The correct answer is they'll cause the steering to vibrate. If your front wheels are out of balance, the steering will vibrate. You'll have to take your vehicle to a garage or tire fitting firm, where they can balance your wheels. It isn't a fault that will rectify itself. What effect does alcohol have on your driving? It speeds up your reactions. It increases your awareness. It improves your coordination. It reduces your concentration. The correct answer is it reduces your concentration. What should you do if you're approaching a roundabout and there's a horse and rider ahead of you? Be prepared to stop. Treat them like any other vehicle. Sound your horn as a warning. Accelerate past as quickly as possible. The correct answer is be prepared to stop. Horse riders often keep to the outside of the roundabout even if they're turning right. Give them plenty of room and remember that they may have to cross lanes of traffic. Who's responsible for making sure that a vehicle isn't overloaded? The driver, the owner of the items being carried, the person who loaded the vehicle, the licensing authority. The correct answer is the driver. If you wish to carry a heavy load on your vehicle, it's your responsibility to ensure that the load is secure and the vehicle isn't overloaded. Your vehicle is broken down on the hard shoulder of a motorway. What should you do if you decide to use your mobile phone to call for help? Stand at the rear of the vehicle while making the call. Have your insurance policy number to hand. Get out of the driver's seat before making the call. Check your location from the marker posts on the left. The correct answer is check your location from the marker posts on the left. If you're on the motorway and have to call the emergency services, the operator will need to know your exact location. Look for a number on the nearest marker post beside the hard shoulder. Give this number to the operator and be ready to describe where you are. For example, tell the operator the last junction or service area you passed. This will help the emergency services to reach you as quickly as possible. You are approaching a junction where the view is restricted. What should you do? Stop at the junction and apply the handbrake. Approach slowly and edge forward until they can see. Approach quickly to reduce the likelihood of having to wait. Stop well before the junction. Then move forward for a better look. The correct answer is approach slowly and edge forward until they can see. You move away on a downhill gradient. What gears would you use? Use the lowest available gear. Use an appropriate gear for the gradient. Use the highest available gear. Use a lower gear than normal. The correct answer is use an appropriate gear for the gradient. Can you park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing when there are no other parking spaces to be found? No, unless you stay with your car. Yes, in order to drop off a passenger. Yes, if you don't block people from crossing. No, not under any circumstances. The correct answer is no, not under any circumstances. You mustn't park within the area marked by zigzag lines on either side of a pedestrian crossing. You'll be causing an obstruction by obscuring the view of both pedestrians and drivers. You're driving on a motorway. What should you do if the overhead signs show a red cross with red flashing lights above your lane? Continue in that lane and look for further information. Move into another lane as soon as you can do so safely. Pull onto the hard shoulder. Stop and wait for an instruction to proceed. The correct answer is move into another lane as soon as you can do so safely. A red cross with flashing red lights above your lane shows that your lane is closed. You should move into another lane as soon as you can do so safely. If the signal shows above all lanes, you must stop and not go beyond the signal. When could you stop here on this road? To park during the hours of darkness, to rest if you're tired, to set down or pick up passengers, to park during daylight hours. The correct answer is to set down or pick up passengers. Normally, a driver shouldn't stop or park on a road that has double white lines along the center. However, you may stop for long enough to set down or pick up passengers, or to load or unload goods. What should you be aware of when you see this sign? Possible flooding or deep water at a ford. There may be oncoming vehicles out of sight. A sudden change in the road surface condition. An overgrown ditch or soft verge alongside the road. The correct answer is there may be oncoming vehicles out of sight. Where there's a hidden dip, dead ground, you should be aware that there could be oncoming vehicles out of sight between you and the road in the distance. Don't start to overtake until you can see into the dip and know the road ahead is clear. How can you tell when you're driving on black ice? It's easier to brake. The noise from your tires sounds louder. You see black ice on the road. Your steering feels light. The answer is your steering feels light. Black ice makes a road look damp, and you may not be able to see that it's icy. Signs that indicate you may be on black ice include: your steering suddenly feels light, a lack of road noise from your tires.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe UK Learning's YouTube channel. Share with your friends and family. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get more videos. Your support will encourage us to make more videos. We wish you all the best for your exam.